Man, you know things are getting serious if somebody's pants are coming off. Alright, it is time for an update on the Vic. Grand Marquis. Whatever. Same thing. So, how's she coming along? She is fighting us every step of the way. Is that fair to say, Adam?
It's way worse than that. That was very polite, Cody. I like it.
So, I mean, it's Adam, so he painted some. That doesn't really mean anything. That gives you an idea of what color the car is going to be, but that's really about it. Motor update. Header's back on. Distributor's back on. Stuff's plugged that wasn't plugged before. We got a belt for what used to be a fan. Fan's off. To the water pump, we'll probably have probably run an electric fan up here, I think, maybe.
I'm going to go fast enough we don't need a fan.
Oh, God. Oh, all right. Wiring all got put back together that we had taken apart. Let's see, can I show you in here? Kind of hard to tell, but we got a drive shaft in there. It's like 80% done. We do still need to pull this back out and tap the shaft so that the yoke can be bolted in so that that doesn't pull out during the derby. So we still got to do that part, but other than that, it's almost starting to look like a drive line again. Adam, right now we are having brake problems, right?
Yeah, our biggest hang-up right now, other than everything in the world leaking on the motor that we think we might have nailed down, we got brake problems. One of our biggest things that Cody and I do in every single derby car we have is only run 2 brakes. Now 99% of the time, actually yeah, it'd probably be 99% of the cars we built, it's the front 2 tires because they're front wheel drive. So we've got a few parts lists out on the Demo Derby database as well as our Facebook page where we go through all the trouble of finding out how to eliminate ABS and run 2 lines directly out of the master, because pretty much every master brake has 2 ports coming out of that, and we just run hard lines right from that to your 2 front tires. And all of the different connectors and the sizes, even the pricing for our area, we buy most everything in the local Green Auto Parts store, and we got all that on there.
That doesn't pay to advertise with us, so we're not going to say their name.
However, this is the first time that we've put brakes on a full-size car. Every other full-size car we've ran was stock drivetrain, and the brakes worked, fortunately, which was very uncommon. So we decided, let's run just the 2 rear brakes. So how do you get brake fluid from the 2 ports in the master all the way to the back? Well, if Cody goes around to the other side of the car, you'll see how creative we can get.
I'm going to go this way. We ain't got a whole lot of room in here with a big car. That's why the other side of the garage is still open. But you'll be getting an update on that side soon. We do have something else coming in tomorrow. And probably going out the next day.
So what we did here, of course, in every master cylinder, there are 2 different sizes. Trial and error. Our local auto parts store didn't have exactly what we needed, so what do?
You cobble some stuff together.
You put a whole lot of fittings to get what you need. We got that to work. Everything there is fine. We actually ran those 2 lines through the firewall, as you can see kind of from here. And if you look real close, they go right through the door bar.
Yep, I don't think we're going to be able to see that.
You can see it from way back here, but
get an angle.
Here you go, right there, so you can kind of see. There you go, perfect. What a lovely cameraman.
I do what I can.
Those lines are nice and protected. They go all the way through the door bar, and then they pop out right at the back where the rear seat bar is. And then we tee them off, and then they go punch 2 holes basically in the floor, and we ran lines out. Taking the old stuff off of these cars is the biggest struggle we have. It's always rusty. If somebody tried it before, then usually the nuts are stripped and you can't get a wrench on there, so we typically, I'd say half the time, we go with the torch and vice grips, which is exactly what we did on here. Now we heated it up so nice on this one that actually blew one of the flex hoses in the back, so we had to replace that. Got a new one, was the wrong one, but I think we made that work. And now we just got a couple fittings that aren't seating right. If I had to put money on it, I'd say we probably have bubble flares going into inverted flares and things like that. If you know what that means, great. If you don't, then it means it leaks. Easiest way to describe that.
Oh god! All right, I'm gonna try to show you that one wrong fitting that Adam was talking about back here, which I thought was a little bit strange. Obviously minor in the grand scheme of things, but this is that flex line that comes back, and that's all we asked for was the flex line to the rear tire, driver rear tire, which we got. Cool, that fits. But it actually had two ports coming into it. Like there must have been a split back there or something. That's the way that it was designed. But just put a bleeder valve. We had some extras. Wedged that full of some silicone, which probably wasn't necessary because it is a bleeder valve, but we wanted to make sure she was extra secure, tighten the hell out of it, and that doesn't seem to leak anymore. So that side's good. We do still have a little bit of a connection issue on the other side. So what's next? We are going to work on... What are we working on, Adam?
Drive shafts in, we've got to have brakes and transmission. So the transmission, we've got some ideas on how we're going to make those lines work. We've got one actually already installed up there, and so I've got to go pick up the other one. It has arrived at the auto parts store. That one will be going in tomorrow.
Okay.
So once it stops, before we do anything,
we'll make it go.
We'll make it go. That's typically what we do.
Alright, so we're about 6 minutes into this one, so we're going to call this an update. We'll get an update here for you soon as far as once we start making some progress on tranny and brakes and all that good stuff once they are good and solid. But we might as well fire this bad boy up, huh? You guys haven't heard it run since we put the thing back together. So I'll stand back here a little bit so y'all can see the fun we got going on. Remember, this thing was in pieces just a day or two ago.
Hours ago.
Same as last time. Strike one. What do you think, guys? Does she sound a little bit better this time? That's probably the healthiest you guys have heard it sound. Almost sounds like she wants to go do some damage. So, as always, guys, we really appreciate you following along, and...
Get goosed.